Let's take some equanimous, equal breaths to begin with. Closing your eyes with an inhale, lifting, expanding through your body. As you exhale, softening, releasing to the earth, and drawing lower belly in. Inhale to create this circle through the front of your body, expanding with the ribs at the back and the lungs. Exhale to soften down and notice the circle through the back of the body, easing, releasing. Keeping that going with your own breath, your own rhythm. And as we practice in awareness with the full moon in Leo tonight, Leo sign of a lion, you can just envision lion qualities that you like, or lioness qualities that resonate with you. All the softness, the warmth, the strength, the courage of a lion or a lioness. Maybe any other qualities that stand out for you. And the full moon in Leo asks us to embody these qualities, to bring our awareness into what has been missing in our life and to shine this light for awakening, for awareness, for fullness, to bring in what is needed to balance and to feel into our own optimum wholeness. The moon energy is always opposite the sun's energy, and the sun's energy is in Aquarius at the moment. Aquarius, a sign of the pioneer, of the adventurer, of a new perspective, a new way of thinking, living, being. As you just sit with these energies, maybe you can feel into what has been coming up for you in the last 2 weeks since the new moon in Aquarius. What's been coming up for you this month of this new year. With the sight, which is darshana in Sanskrit and in yoga, we see clearly, to see and pierce through any illusions, to pierce through any darkness, and to see the light at the end as our calling, but also to be in awareness of all, to be in the whole picture. So as you breathe for a few more breaths, just noticing this with our Leo, full moon, and Aquarius energy, Leo, the lion, feeling into your inner roar, perhaps with empowerment, as we'll be doing in our flow tonight. Feeling into a new perspective, a new direction maybe, a new focus. Great, you can keep your eyes closed and we'll sound the moon mantra, Om Chandra Namaha, 3 times. So either sitting with this vibration inside of you in silence, just noticing the sound, or you're sounding it out in your own space, creating the vibration around you and inside of you, and attuning to the sound of your own voice, your own sound that's healing for you. Let's inhale to prepare. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandra Namaha. Noticing the vibrations moving through you, maybe heat building, maybe some energy that's shifted in a slight way. Let's next practice our moon breath, pranayama, Chandra, and Brani means to pierce. So just like the full moon has this piercing light to illuminate and to shine into our darkness, we also do this with our breath and clearing our left nostril and our right nostril as we exhale to bring a stream of coolness with the left nostril, our feminine moon side, Ida. So we can either take the first two fingers up to your third eye and your right thumb to your right nostril, or first two fingers positioned down to your palm in Vishnu Mudra, whichever feels best for you. Inhaling through your left nostril and exhaling through your right. And then we continue, inhaling through left nostril and exhaling through right. Keeping that going, inhaling through left and exhaling through right. Inhaling through left and exhaling through right. Taking 3 more rounds and observing the length with equal inhalation and exhalation. Noticing the left feminine, Ida, moon, lunar side for cooling. Your sun, right nostril with masculine sun warming energy. So we're inviting the coolness in and letting go of the sun, fire, masculine. Take 1 more round, please. Lowering your hands perhaps back to that first mudra, jhana, and observing that practice. Noticing if there's any cooling sensation in your nostrils. Breathing through both nostrils. Let's practice with Ujjayi's sound breath. And let's start to move now. Coming onto your hands and knees, please. Hands under shoulders, spreading the fingers, the thumbs, pressing the shins down and the feet to the ground. Just have a little sway, and then let's turn this into a big circle round. Circling through your shoulders, through the sides of the body, through the hips. Getting your head maybe into the circle, using your jaw. Noticing that all the way through the spiral. And which direction that you're going to, trying to widen the circle, the circumference of the direction as far out as you can, all the way around. Then noticing this direction, and let's circle the opposite way, but now let's target the circle just into our hips, so into the pelvis and around the pelvis. Our hips are sacral connected with the full moon, with the moon as water element and as feminine goddess energy. Then let's reverse the circle and take a new direction and circle the awareness around your navel now, around the sides of the waist, the front and the back of the waist, with the navel in the center of the circle. Great, let's reverse the direction again, circling the opposite way around your rib cage. Noticing the whole of your rib cage, as if you could light up your rib cage from your heart's energy. And the circle there around your heart, around your whole rib cage. And then noticing the circle up through your throat and your shoulders more. Maybe the circle goes a bit in a strange way, but just with the circle around your shoulders, your throat, your head. Changing the direction again if you like. And then 1 more circle with just our head and the crown of our head, and change the direction again the other way. And easing around your neck more, taking this circle around the head, the skull, the crown of the head, the jaw. Great, let's come to a center point and then just press back to child's pose, please. Lengthening the hands forwards, maybe you have a sway, maybe you come up onto the fingertips to make it a bit more active, or you can just relax your hands and arms down to the ground, relaxing your face, your jaw, relaxing your shoulders. Maybe having a sigh here, sighing out any energy that feels stagnant. And then come up onto our hands and knees and take cat-cow just in a normal form with your breath. Or we're going to roll forward into cobra and back to child's pose. So whichever is best for you, please. Noticing the length of your spine with your breath. Either you're on cat-cow or cobra, forwards and child's pose back. Maybe you do both if you like and change it up. Just noticing your own movement and how your body wants to move, how your body wants to feel into its own nectar, its own soma, nectar connected to the moon. And then let's come forward and let's just settle into a high cobra as you sway from side to side. Let's have a little sway with the head, with your body. Coming to center in a high cobra with an inhale, as if you could sip the air through your nose, the cooling moon energy, silver light. Exhale, maybe sighing out, loosening your jaw. One more breath, inhale from your toes, lengthening through your body, lighting up to the crown of the head. Exhale, softening, sighing out perhaps. Let's take the hips back and tuck the toes under. Taking your hips back to downward facing dog as you pedal out your legs. Maybe you sway from side to side in your down dog at any time that you like, and make it nice and fluid, like water is moving through you as the ocean and all of the water in our body is pulled by the full moon. And then you can either stay in down dog, rest in child's pose, or come forward to plank, lengthen through from your heels to the crown of the head. Exhale, bend the knees, send the hips back to down dog. Moving in that big circle from plank, back to down dog with your hips in a circling form, and awareness to your knees and your pelvis tilting backwards. Or if you prefer to rest in child's pose, please do so, or just stay in down dog. One more time as you circle forwards and back, feeling the draw of your hips backwards as you lengthen your spine. Let's pedal out our feet a little bit here. And then walk our feet in a weaving way, one foot in front of the other, all the way to the top of the mat. So you cross one foot over, and then the other foot over. And let's stay at the top of the mat with one foot forward the other. Please inhale, lengthen, looking forwards. Exhale, forward fold, soften, drop through your shoulders. Have an extra breath here. Just noticing the legs, the inner legs hugging to center. Inhale, looking forwards. Let's switch the legs so the back leg comes to the front now, weaving it, crossing it forwards. Exhale, folding in, drawing up through your shoulders, lower belly, softening your jaw and your face. And hugging the inner thighs in towards each other in the pelvis, noticing the sit bones. With an inhale, looking forwards, let's take the feet to a normal hip width apart stance, pressing the feet balance down to the ground, just looking forwards as you lengthen through. Exhale, forward fold into the head, lowering below the hips. Maybe your hands are just free and they're just sweeping from side to side. Your hands can be behind the calves, hugging you in a bit tighter, drawing your shoulders up away from your ears. Inhale, looking forwards again. Exhale, step the right foot back and take the right knee to the ground. Let's pulse from a half splits form, a runner's lunge, as we take the toes up to the sky and then down to a flat foot looking forwards, slightly moving the pelvis and lunging slightly forwards a bit more. Exhale, take the hips back, bowing down. Inhale forwards, lengthening through. Once more. Exhale back, flexing the toes. And inhale forwards. We take our hands to the thigh, the left thigh, but try not to drop too much so you're not pressing too much down, rather than lifting up a little bit as you stretch out this right psoas and the right front of your thigh. So feel that you're engaged and you're lifted up through the pelvis, your pelvic floor, and you're not dropping down too much. One more breath here as we feel through the legs. Notice the toes from the back foot to the front. Exhale, hands down, stepping forwards with an inhale, looking forwards, lengthen again. Exhale, let's fold in and step the left foot back now for our wave lunges. As you flex the foot, draw the toes back and up. Inhale, press the foot flat, looking forwards, lengthen through. And emphasize the pelvis moving forward slightly. Exhale, back, noticing the hips and the shoulders. Inhale, forwards again, lengthening through. Exhale, back, flexing the toes, spreading them, softening your jaw. Once more, inhale, forwards. And exhale, back. As you flex your toes, stretching out. Inhale, press the foot flat, take the hands to the thigh again. Once again, let's not drop down too low, so we're not forcing anything. We're lifting up as well as stretching out and feeling into the front of the left thigh, psoas, the front of the left hip. Lengthening through the spine, soften shoulders back and down. Lifting your heart. One more breath here. Feeling from the toes forwards. And exhale, hands down. Stepping forwards with an inhale. Looking forwards, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to the top. Reaching and looking up. Lift the hands up overhead. And exhale, let's take our hands to our heart. Just standing in a soft standing posture where you feel both feet balanced to the ground and lengthening up through your body. Feel a slight bend in your knees with softness. And notice the tailbone pressing and lengthening towards the ground as you lift up through your body, softening your shoulders, your face and your jaw. So have a breath here with our hands to our heart. Maybe you just blossom the middle fingers open as a gesture in Padme Lotus Mudra, with the thumbs and the little fingers touching. Setting your intention or catching love as you send out love to the universe in this mudra. Great, we're now going to part our hands a little bit and make a ball of energy between our hands. Maybe your feet get a bit broader apart and the toes turn out a little bit just to accommodate this. And then we're going to move this ball in a big figure of 8, like an infinity sign, around one way and then the other. So just keep the ball of energy between your hands, like a full moon is moving as you soften. Maybe you get more into the flow and widen the feet apart. And you can just really notice the circumference again, the edges of this big figure of 8 on its side, infinity sign, with infinite possibilities and creation in your life. Let's just move a few more times like this, balancing our shoulders. And this is said to balance the brain hemispheres as well. And then we'll come back to center. Noticing this ball again, just holding it in front of you, in front of your heart. And then with an inhale, we'll reach the hands out wide, branching out like a star. Exhale, draw the palms towards each other and feel if there's any energy that's pushing against the palms as you get closer to where the ball was imagined before. Twice more. Inhale, reaching out from your heart, looking up perhaps. Exhale, draw the energy in, softening your shoulders, feeling that energy point to the center. One more time. Inhale, reach the arms wide, looking up perhaps. And exhale, drawing the hands towards each other, feeling your palms. Well, now inhale, reach the palms up. And exhale, take the palms down, bend your knees and lower a little bit. Clearing the front of your body, inhale, reach the hands up to the sky. Now exhale, lower the palms, bend your knees and lowering down through the back. One more time, inhale, reaching up. And exhale, softening your shoulders, your face, your jaws. You clear the energy down to the ground. Let's stay down. Level your feet so that they're wide but parallel. And then we'll circle the arms around one way and the other, just like you're drawing a big full moon around you, a big sun as well. The hands maybe overlap a little bit at the back space with this line, imaginary line that you're drawing around. And then let's circle the arms up through our body to our hips, to the back of the hips. We can start to tap our kidneys, wake up our metabolism, our chi, our organs, our energy again for this practice. And maybe your arms are just really heavy and there's slight pressure to the top of the hips as you swing them round. One more tap each side, ending on the opposite side you didn't start with, please. And then we'll travel the arms up through the body to the back of the shoulders. Tap the back of the shoulders. And then take this big swinging circle motion up above you and around. Maybe you turn around or you just circle the arms around. Try to not get too dizzy, this makes me really dizzy. And then carefully, slowly, floating the arms back down as you come to a center point again. Let's take the feet, heel toe them towards each other, hip distance apart. Hands to your heart again, and maybe keep them pressed together, or Padma Mudra, Lotus Mudra, opening the middle fingers with the thumb and little fingers touching. And again, just observing your awareness, your energy, your intention of giving and receiving love from your heart. Okay, let's press our palms together. Come to the top of your mat, please, to start the flow. Standing in Tadasana with equal feet pressing to the ground. You can lift the toes away and spread them away from each other. Maybe positioning the little toes down and each toe in turn to the big toes. Softening your shoulders back and down. Then inhale, let's reach the hands up to the sky. Balance over to your left foot, the standing leg, and lift the right foot forwards, bending the right knee. As you exhale, let's send the right foot and knee back and just hover there. Maybe you straighten out the legs, the right leg behind you, the right toes position down to the ground. You can keep the knee bent. Inhale, bring the knee forward again, lifting up. And exhale, take the foot back, stretching it out as long as you like. Once more, inhale, reaching up, bending knee, flexing the foot. Exhale, take it back, engaging the standing leg, your core, lengthening through. Inhale, lift it up again. Exhale, let's take the foot back into either a low lunge or a high lunge. As you inhale, reach the hands overhead. Exhale, elbows wide. And if you're in your high lunge, you can tap the knee down as well. Inhale to reach up again, lengthening. Exhale, elbows wide and tapping the knee down if that's okay for you. One more time. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, tapping the knee down. Let's lower all the way to the ground if we're in our high lunge. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, take the hands down the center line in that Lotus Mudra again to your heart. Softening your shoulders, staying here for a breath. Breathing through, feeling the feet. Inhale, reach the hands up again. Exhale, hands down. Flexing your left toes once again. Feel into the stretch for 3 breaths now in stillness. Just through the back of the calf, the back of the knee, the back of the thigh. Maybe you stretch that leg forward a little bit more to lengthen it out. Lifting your heart, looking forwards, spreading the toes. Inhale here. And then exhale, taking it back to plank. You can either rest through the vinyasas and go straight to down dog, or let's lower through or press up either knees, chest, chin, or full press up, elbows in. Inhale, sweep the heart forward for cobra, up dog, softening shoulders back, press to the toes. Exhale, tuck the toes and lift up, downward facing dog. 3 big breaths to balance through. Noticing hands, shoulders, hips and feet, lengthening through your spine. Feeling a sigh whenever you want to as well. One more big breath. We're now going to bend our knees. Either look and step forward or look and jump forward, a little tiny hop. With an inhale, reach the heart forward, lengthening, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach it up to the top, lengthening and looking up. And exhale, hands to our heart. We'll go to the other side now. Inhale, reach the hands up, standing on our right leg. Lift the left knee forward, flexing the foot. Stay there as you inhale again. Exhale, take the foot back, and either you keep the bent knee form or you level out straight. Hands can be back or forward. Inhale to lift the knee forwards again. Check your balance. Exhale, taking it back behind you, lengthening through. Inhale forwards, keeping your gaze fixed to one point helps as well. Flexing the foot, bring the knee up, and exhale back. Inhale, lift the hands up. And exhale, let's step back into our high or low lunge again, positioning your feet. Inhale, reach the hands high. Exhale, elbows wide, bend the back knee if you're in your high lunge and you're doing those knee taps. Inhale to lift up and lengthen. Exhale to engage the ground. Keep it going. Feeling in with the breath, balancing through, softening your shoulders. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, let's touch the left knee down to the ground again. Inhale, reach the hands high. Exhale, take the hands to the center line of you into lotus mudra to your heart. Pressing the thumb and little finger together, softening your shoulders. Staying for an extra breath, feeling through from the feet, lengthening your spine. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, hands down. Let's now take our right foot into flexion, and then either moving this right heel forwards as you flex the toes, or keeping in your normal half splits. Staying here for 3 breaths. As you breathe deep, getting into the toes, spreading the back of the leg, leveling the hips, leveling your shoulders. One more breath with an inhale forwards, then exhale to soften. Inhale, pressing the hands flat, stepping back to your plank. You can rest in child's pose if you like as well, or moving through your vinyasa to connect. Inhale to lift the heart for cobra, up dog. Exhale, back for down dog. 3 big breaths, balancing with Samavriti, equal breath, equal fluctuations as well. As Samavriti means equal fluctuations of our breath, our mind, our movement, our rhythm. So now bend the knees, looking forwards, either step or mini hop jump to the top of the mat. Lengthening, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold, drop through core and shoulders. Inhale, reach the hands up to the top, lengthening through. And exhale, hands to your heart. We'll stand on our left leg now. Let's move our right foot up the inner seam of the left leg, either for a low tree, to the floor with the toes still, or to the inner calf, or to the inner thigh, above or below the knee for your tree. Lengthening to the crown of your head, softening your shoulders. Imagining the full moon above your tree as it is. And we're growing up to the full moon, growing with the silvery light and drawing silver light down to us as well. With an inhale, reach the hands up to the sky, lengthening. Maybe you take Padma Lotus Mudra with the thumb and little fingertips touching above your head. Exhale, opening the arms out like a big full moon, taking the arms to the back space, and either you keep them free or you can interlace them, interlacing the fingers, drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. Have a breath here, softening your face, keeping your drishti, your gaze on that one point for your balance, lifting through your core. Inhale, let's sweep the arms up again, reaching them high. Exhale, take the right foot back and gliding it through air, just like before. As slow as you like, back to your high lunge, and then press the heel down for warrior one. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, draw the hands down the center line of the body. Thumb and little fingertips touching in Padma Mudra. Holding it here, feeling into your hips, into the feet, into full moon energy again, within you, around you, and in this gesture of offering with your hands. Inhale, let's reach the lotus up to the full moon. And exhale, open out, warrior two, wide to the sides. Let's pulse it into center, and then we're going to change our legs, warrior two, with the right leg as well now. Exhale, take the arms to your center point, maybe you're holding that ball again, or that moving towards your heart. And then inhale, change it to the right side. Exhale to center point. And inhale to the left side. Keep that going, moving your gaze, your drishti as well. And when we focus with our gaze, in yoga it's called drishti, but also when we see inside, we said that earlier, darshana, sight, to have clear sight. The full moon and yoga and meditation all teach us this clear sight to notice our fullness. Great, let's end on the left side, the left warrior two, left leg forward. With an inhale, reach left arm up to the sky, looking up. As you exhale, left forearm to thigh, right arm over for your side angle. You can keep this right arm above the head at a big diagonal light beam, or wrap the arm around the back, drawing back the right shoulder, looking up. You can keep the left arm as it is, or lower down for a harder stretch. Maybe you take full bound warrior if you have that in your awareness. And if you can keep everything to the center line of the mat. So the body's leaning back a bit, it's not going forwards, like as if you were trying to take the heart to the ground. It's leaning back to lift the heart up to the sky. Great, one more breath. Great, exhale, lower the hands down. Let's look forwards. Let's move this left foot all the way over to the left side. Turn the toes out for lizard pose. Hands under shoulders, either lengthening through this way, or we can take the forearms down. You can take the back knee down as well to soften. Maybe with the forearms down, the back knee lifts off the ground, or whatever feels best for you with your body. Noticing the hips, your sacral chakra, where the moon is symbolized with your feminine goddess energy again. And then let's take our right knee down and the hands to the ground. And then just in your own way, circling round, really carefully, slowly, creating this fluidity, this flow, this wave of the ocean, of the water element, with the moon. The energies of Leo are fire and Aquarius air. So at the moment with fire and air, there can be quite a bit of emotions, a lot of activity, maybe a sense of feeling quite fiery or not fiery enough. And with air as well, you can feel into the differences of air and what those qualities mean to you and what's happening in your life. Responding to fire and air at the moment. Let's circle the other way if you haven't already. We're doing quite a lot of circling there. And then let's flex the toes so they're up to the sky. Keep the foot as it is and just take a half splits form in this way as well. We flex the toes, spread the toes away from each other, lengthening through. Noticing your shoulders, your hips, lifting your heart. And then we can change our hands a little bit here, keeping the right hand a bit towards you and underneath the right shoulder. Lift the left hand back, feel into a twist round through this left side and the outer hip, the outer rib cage, the shoulder. Then we'll change our hands, taking the left hand to the ground, reach the right hand back. Keep that going, a few more rounds. You can speed it up or slow it down, however many that you like. Let's do 2 rounds more or 1 round if you're going slow. And reaching back with the left hand as your final one. Sorry, the right hand as your final one will be the right side, won't it? Reaching back, looking to the right thumb. Great, let's take it back to plank, or you can rest in child's pose or down dog. Through your vinyasa to weave with the press up, knees, chest, chin, or full press up. Inhale, reach the heart forward for cobra, up dog, lengthening and looking forwards. Exhale, back to down dog. Softening through as well as feeling the balance of strength from the hands, lifting through the shoulders, lengthening through the spine. A slight bend in the knees to tilt the pelvis backwards. And feel that tiny bend to protect your joints and your knees always. If you feel like your elbows are pressing to be into the inner elbows a bit too much, you can even bend your elbows in down dog, as it really helps to strengthen your arms and your shoulders. One more breath here. Great, let's bend our knees, step or mini hop, jump forwards again. With an inhale, looking forwards, lift up halfway and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to the top, reaching and looking up. And exhale, hands to our hearts. Let's go for tree on the other side now. Bakasana with the left foot, either to the floor with the toes, to the calf, or to the inner arch again. Setting your gaze, your drishti on one point. And as we take our hands to our heart, lengthening up through the spine to the crown of the head. Switching on your core, feeling the balance of your shoulders back softly. Let's take Padme Lotus Mudra if you like, separating the middle fingers again, blossoming from your heart. Inhale, lift this lotus flower up to the top. Exhale, branch it wide with the full moon, round to the sides. And then lowering the hands either free behind you or interlace them again, switching your grip, so opposite index finger on top this time. Moving the foot off the leg into warrior 3, whatever feels the best way for you as you either open your arms or keep them bound. And then let's lower the foot back to warrior 1 as you reach the hands up overhead. Exhale, take the hands to your heart in Lotus Mudra, lengthening through. Softening the shoulders, feel the feet, have an extra breath here. Feeling into balancing our strength and softness, sun and moon. Balancing with our own empowerment. Inhale, reach the hands up to the top, lifting our lotus flower to the moon. Exhale, open out, warrior 2, arms wide to the sides. Checking the feet, and now let's pulse it with the hands to the center. Exhale, come to center, turn the feet parallel. Inhale, lengthen the left foot to that side, changing it warrior to the left leg. Keep that going in your own time. Breathing through, feeling into the inner thighs, into your core, into the pulse from one side to the other.
Great, and then when we're ready, let's finish with the right foot forward, warrior two with the right. Inhale, reach the right hand up for exalted warrior. Exhale, right forearm to thigh, lengthen for a side angle. Feel into whether the left arm's reaching in a big beam of light over your head or wrapping around, and which variation you'd like for this side. Just balancing out and trying to do the same, noticing what you need, breathing through. Taking adaptation of bound warrior if that's available to you, but drawing yourself back if you're in bound warrior again, remembering to lift your heart. Breathing into the strength of your feet, both feet balanced, lengthening from the back heel to the crown of the head. Exhale, let's let go and turn to the ground. Take that right foot all the way over to the right side of the mat. Turn the toes out for lizard pose. Stay level with the hips and the shoulders. The back knee can be up or down, and we can lower to our forearms if that's available to us, with the back knee down or up again. Have a few breaths, softening as well with your breath in this strong pose. Breathing through, feeling into any tension being released with your exhale, inviting in freshness with your inhale. Great, let's take the left knee down, hands to the ground. Keep the left hand under the shoulder, maybe moving it back a little bit. And we'll reach the right hand back behind us, looking round to that back space. And then coming back to center. Actually, we did the half splits, didn't we, like that? So let's flex the foot, spread the toes. Maybe you move that foot slightly a bit further forward for the stretch, or keep it exactly where it was, whatever we did last time. Feeling into this back of calf and knee variation with a slight diagonal, a little bit different maybe for you. One more breath. Now let's keep the left hand a little bit closer towards us. Reach the right hand back for our twist and the stretch through. And then pulsing the hands again with your breath, just changing them over carefully. So the left hand reaching back, and then right hand. Maybe one more round to each side, or 2 rounds, whatever feels the best for your body. Opening through the side ribs, softening your shoulders, turn. One more breath, and ending with the right hand, the left hand back. I'm getting my right and left mixed up loads tonight, sorry. Left hand back, and then let's take both hands to the ground. Let's take the foot to the mat, so the foot's down, and then start to circle with our hip circles, feeling into this side, and what's different, it'll feel quite different, and then mine does too. As we ease round, creating fluidity in our joints, and then circling the opposite way all the way around to the other side. Easing round. Great, positioning hands and tuck the back foot under. Let's step back to plank or down dog. Moving through your vinyasa again. With an inhale, rising through cobra up dog, lengthening, lifting through your spine. And exhale back to down dog. 3 more big breaths. In this down dog, maybe you step one foot behind the other. And you just press back with the hips, with the back the top of the thighs, and feel the back lengthening. And then after your breath, stepping to the other leg behind. So weaving and crossing the opposite foot to the other side now. Lengthening through your spine. Hands are pressed in balance, face is relaxed. Great, let's step the feet forward or soft light jump as you bend your knees with an inhale. Lengthen to the top of the mat, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold, drop through your core and shoulders. Inhale, rise up to the top, reaching hands overhead, press the palms together. And exhale, palms to your heart. As you close your eyes, just center for a few breaths here. Maybe taking Padma Mudra, Lotus Mudra again. Great, let's next practice dancer pose, Natrasana. I'll come this side because it's easier for me. And we're going to either have something to support us next to us or in front of us for dancer if you need that, or just do it free in the middle of the room on your mat. We take the hand out to the side, palm turned out, and then the right palm to the right inner arch of the foot. So not the outer edge, the inner arch if possible. Bring the knees together just to start. Lift the left hand above your head, index finger and thumb touch in Gaya Mudra. Then we lengthen the body forwards as we take the knee back. Maybe slightly flex the foot to really lift through that back leg as you lengthen the spine, lifting your heart forwards. Have one more breath, noticing your gaze, your drishti to a fixed point with softness. Great, and then we'll open this out as you open out your arms, stepping all the way back to warrior two with the left foot forwards, please. Inhale, let's lift the left hand up, straighten the left leg for triangle pose. Take your right hand to your right hip. Exhale, take the left hand inside the calf area, the knee area even, to lift up through the side of the left body, and then tilt your right shoulder back so you're lifting your heart and gaze. We're able to just stay here enjoying. We can lift the right hand up, you can stay in stillness with the right hand or circle it 3 big circles backwards, opening a bit more. This big full moon energy all the way around you. And pressing to both feet wherever you are, lengthening through the spine. Great, let's use that top arm to lift us all the way back up to center. Reach our hands out wide and parallel the feet when you're ready in Tadasana Star. And then turning the toes diagonal, both toes out the same angle with the knees stacked above the heels, and just check that so that the knees are moving back slightly. You may feel like you're about to fall back like I nearly did then, but the knees are moving back as much as possible. They're not angled in, they're moving back with the toes out and stacked above the heels. Take that arms wide, elbows, bent palms facing up, and we'll do some pulses here. And inhale, reach arms straight and legs straight in. Exhale, we bend. Keep that going. If you want to practice lion's breath with the Leo full moon and create fierce goddess, which is connected to Kali, this posture, this gesture as we stick out our tongue and we make this form. We'll do that for 3 more times with an inhale and an exhale, sticking out your tongue, fierce goddess. Inhale, reach it high. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, arms wide to the sides. Let's take our hands to our hips. Turn the feet parallel. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, hinge the hips backwards, slight bend in the knees as you forward fold. Taking your hands down, either reaching the hands way forward and lengthening, looking forwards and keeping that as your stretch, or we can move the hands in between the feet, level, underneath the shoulders, hands are shoulder width apart, and we bow down a bit more with the head, trying to draw the shoulder blades away from the ears. Press to both feet and tilt the weight to the toes a little bit as we tilt the pelvis backwards. Tiny, tiny bend in your knees if you tend to straighten out the legs here. And as you bend your knees, you'll feel the pelvis tilting backwards, all the muscles, the glutes, getting a stretch out and balancing, stabilizing your sacrum, your pelvis. One more big breath, lengthening through the spine. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to fold in. Inhale, let's look forward. Keep one hand to the ground, lift the other arm up. As you stretch up, look to that top thumb, lengthening. Feel the bottom hand, all with a big line, lifting to the top hand. As if a silver line was really aiming through you up to the full moon and back down through you to the earth. Then let's change over to the other side. Inhale, turning and reaching up as if you could twist and reach as much as you can with shining light. Breathing through. One more big breath, looking up to that top thumb. Exhale, hands down. Let's turn to the front of our mat. Moving back to a plank when you're ready, or resting in child's pose or down dog. Let's move through a vinyasa again to weave and connect. Inhale, lift for your cobra up dog. Exhale, back to down dog. Breathing deep. You can take a normal down dog, or we're going to step the feet together, big toes touching, lifting right foot up, bend the right knee, flex the foot, look under right upper arm for scorpion. Maybe you point and flex the foot and circle the ankle around one way and then the other. Have an extra breath here, just enjoying the stretch. And then changing the legs over when you're ready, going to the other side, left foot up, bending left knee, flexing the foot, feeling the hip opening over the right, point and flex the foot and circle the ankle around one way and then the other. Breathing through. Taking the foot down, your next inhale again, step or jump or hop to the top of the mats. Lengthen, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold, drawing up through core and shoulders. Inhale, rise to the top, reaching and looking up. And exhale, hands to our hearts. Great, let's try dancer on the other side now. Taking our left hand out to the side, standing with the feet hip distance apart and parallel. Let's take our left hand to the left inner arch. Either you've got something to hold on to, or you reach the right hand above head, touching index finger and thumb for Gaya Mudra. Lengthening forwards as you lift that knee back, maybe flexing the foot to activate the legs a bit more and stretch forwards. You'll feel that balance point between the hand and the back foot keeps you there, lifting through your core, lifting your heart and gaze. Well done, everybody. Now let's open it up really slowly and step that left foot to the back of the mat. Warrior two for a moment. And then with an inhale, reach the right hand up, straightening this right leg. Trikonasana, as you exhale, reach the right hand forward, down the inner seam of the leg, to the inner calf, the inner knee. Staying with the left hand on the hip, or as we move the left hip and the shoulder back, or let's lift the left hand up, stretching through. Keep lifted through the right side body as well. There's a diagonal line from the back heel to the crown of your head. Maybe 3 big circles again, opening up on this side, softening as you circle round, or as you stay in stillness. Feel the feet lengthening through the legs, lifting the thigh bones, the thigh muscles slightly. Great, let's exhale, come up all the way to the top, turn the feet parallel. Star pose again as you stretch out all extremities. The fingers press the outer edges of the feet to the ground. Lift up through your inner arches, your core line. And then let's take our hands to our hips. Turn the toes in a little bit more than you normally would for our forward fold this time. Trying to make sure the feet are level, so maybe lining them up with the edge of the mat so the toes are really level and the big toes are slightly turned in more. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, let's hinge the hips, bend the knees slightly as you forward fold. Lengthening, looking forwards to begin with, either keeping the hands forwards, or as you exhale, take the hands in between the feet, folding in a bit more. Maybe you take first 2 fingers and thumbs around the big toes for a more ceiling version, with the elbows out to the sides, the shoulders wide, draw up through your core, lower belly is lifted in. As you lengthen the crown of your head down to the ground, drawing up through your thighs, breathing through. Let's take 3 more breaths here, please. Noticing the breath, maybe having a sigh. Great, inhale, looking forwards. Take your left hand to your right foot, and then let's lift the right hand up above the head. You can circle it maybe, or maybe take the hand to the shoulder and circle the elbow round. Whatever feels good. You can just circle the arm, the hand, the wrist in a straight line above you as well. Great, let's take the right hand towards the right foot and then open it up again. And twice more like that. As you exhale, folding down with the arm. Inhale to lengthen and lift up, opening. Once more. Exhale down with the arm. Inhale to lift up and open. Exhale, coming to center point and then reaching the other hand to the opposite foot. Lifting that left hand up now above your head. Either circling the all around the arm in your own way, or again, hand to shoulder, circling the elbow, or hands straight above you, circling the wrist. As if you're stirring the big moon above you, with all the nectar, the moonlight. Great, let's take the hand down to the ground. As you exhale, soften. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, hand down to the ground and soften. Inhale, open it up. Illuminating one more time. Inhale to shine bright as we draw this big circle, both sides, both halves, all the way around us. And then come back to center. Turning the toes out. Bend the knees in the same direction as the heel, the knees again, lifting hands up above the head. The big circle, hands pressed together. Exhale down the center line of you with thanks through you to the earth. Twice more. Big circle, big full moon round. Exhale, hands down through the center line of you to the earth. Once more. Gathering up and into center. Sealing this in with thanks all the way through you to the earth. Take the hands to the ground, heel toe your feet towards each other, and then turn the toes out so we sit in Malasana squat. Taking the hands to your heart, soften your shoulders back, lengthen through your spine. Feel the feet, and notice from both feet trying to balance the effort of the legs. Lengthen up through the spine, softening the shoulders. And here we can keep the hands pressed together or Padma Mudra again for a breath as a gesture. Great, exhale, hands down. Move the feet so they're parallel and you can forward fold for a moment. Let's have 3 breaths here, either with the hands dangling, holding on to your opposite forearms, maybe behind the calves with the forearms, or perhaps you take first 2 fingers and thumbs to the big toes, widening the elbows and the shoulder blades away from each other again, drawing up through your core. Tilt the weight forward to the front of the feet again. Feel the back line of the body, back of the hips, the sit bones broadening, the broadness across your lungs, your ribs. One more big breath through the back of your body. And then inhale, let's slowly let go and come up all the way to standing. Reaching the hands up overhead, we take hold of our right wrist. And we'll step our right foot behind the left for crescent moon stretch. Bring into the stretch through the whole left side of the body. Coming back to a center point, releasing, and we'll take hold of our right wrist, step the right foot behind, slight bend in the knees, and feel the stretch through this right side. Softening your face and your jaw. Great, coming back to a standing position with our hands either to our heart, pressing the palms together, or in lotus mudra with the fingers wide out to the sides. And as you align yourself, just closing your eyes, softening your shoulders, lengthening through. Being the receiving and giving of love again. One more big breath. Great, let's sit down, and I'm sorry, I just realised the time. I don't know where I put my phone and I didn't get to see it, but it's 7, so I hope if anybody needs to go, please just have a few minutes relaxing, and I'll catch you again. And if you want the end of this class, just let me know and I'll send it to you as well. Let's sit down and let's take our soles of our feet together, please, and the feet out away from the pelvis in a big diamond-shaped Harasana, star seed. We move our hands underneath our calves and the hands round to the ankle shin area, then just nestle down. So you're still lengthening the head towards the feet. Maybe you're looking beyond the toes to keep the spine really active and strengthening. And you're also just kind of softening at the same time, letting everything go to the ground, releasing, feeling everything in, noticing the hip stretch to the outer hips. Maybe you'll feel it where you're tight as well, around the thighs, or some part, maybe the lower back. And let's take 2 more breaths here with an inhale, lengthening forwards. As you exhale, softening, releasing to the ground, maybe having a sigh. Inhale to lengthen forwards again, lengthening from your heart. Now exhale, softening across your heart, across your shoulders, and having a sigh. Softening your jaw. Great, coming up to sitting position. Let's take the hands behind, position the feet and the hands the same distance away from the hips for tabletop. With an inhale, press the ground away, lift up, engage your glutes looking up. As you exhale, you can lower all the way down, or to make it harder, we're going to take the hips beyond the forearms and take them back. And then inhale, lift the hips again, looking up. Twice more for that, or you can just sit with the legs outstretched and take a forward fold if you prefer. Or maybe you just stay in your reverse tabletop, strengthening your shoulders. As you exhale, lift the hips beyond the forearms and level the feet. One more time, inhale, lifting up for your reverse tabletop. And exhale, lowering all the way to the ground. Let's wiggle ourselves forward. Either rock and roll in more of a rhythm way, up and down, or we'll roll down slowly, lifting our hands forwards. Feet are level and hip distance apart as you activate your core. Rolling down, softening your shoulders, noticing the back on the ground. Inhale to lengthen the hands overhead, lengthen the feet away from you as well, and stretch one hand and foot on one side, really reaching from that side and then to the other. So you're swaying a little bit through the hips and the shoulders. One hip and shoulder and arm and leg is really stretching out as the other one relaxes, and then we move to the other side. Noticing that nice stretch through, equalizing and balancing as you soften to the ground. And then let's take our feet to the ground, hip distance apart and parallel near the pelvis. Interlace your fingers behind your head, please. And just soften your shoulders, your elbows out to the sides. We'll now start to drop the knees over in a swaying motion that we've done before, over to one side. Feel the stretch up to your shoulders, across the shoulders, the throat, the jaw, down through the body, the rib cage, the side of the body, the hip, down through the leg to the feet. And then swaying them the opposite way to the other side, feeling into that side, enjoying your stretch through. And then the next time that the knees sway over to the left, we'll just ease there and let them soften a bit more. Maybe now you take the hands out wide to the sides, shoulder height. And as the knees are dropped over to the left, let's turn our right palm up and the left palm down to the ground. And then look to the right side. So we have that stretch across the shoulders. And the left shoulder is turning inwards slightly, stretching it. Then let's reverse the arms and then the palms with the knees going over to the right. The right hand turns to the ground, the palm faces the ground, and the left hand turns up to the sky. Left palm up. We look to the left side. Then you can just move in your own breath, in your own rhythm, pulsing, changing the palms, changing the knees, changing the gaze, in your own way, enjoying this little wriggle about to create more freedom, more space, more ease. Great, let's come back to a balanced center point, bringing the feet a little bit closer to the pelvis, hip distance apart. Take your hands on the front of the hips, and then we'll just notice the pelvis, and we'll just lift slightly up from the glute muscles, the pelvic floor, and tilt the pelvis up to the sky as you exhale next. And then inhale, take the hips down to the ground, tilting the tailbone towards the ground, arching the back and lifting the front of the back, the front of the body, the heart a little bit. Exhale, tilt the pelvis down, press the lower back to the ground, and then lift the hips, lifting up through your glutes and your tailbone. Inhale, lower the hips and lift up through the lower back, the front of the body. Keep that going. Exhale to lift up through your glutes, the hips away from the ground slightly. And inhale, lowering the hips, lift the front of the body, arching the lower back. And this really helps to balance and stabilize the sacrum, the pelvis, your hips. As you keep rocking like this, maybe you feel one side a bit tighter than the other. I do. And it just talks to you, giving you that awareness of what's needed and how to bring the balance through your body, especially with our lower back, our hips. Great, and then coming back to a neutral point, just notice your hips now, how they feel, the feet, your hands. Let's stretch our hands over our head again and stretch our legs straight, so the toes are pointing. Maybe with the heels pressing to the ground, you start to do a slight rippling motion with the toes moving forward and back slightly, like you're pointing and then flexing your feet. And you have this bit of a bobbing, wave-like form through the body to the hips, through the spine to the shoulders and the back of the head. You can keep the hands above your head or out to the sides or down to the sides of the body, wherever it feels best. And maybe just trying another position with your arms will help you stretch out and recalibrate, rejigging everything. And then let's settle for Shavasana relaxation, either just letting the feet flop and the legs be really relaxed to the sides, wide, with the hands wide and the palms turned up. Or we can take restorative rest, soles of feet to the ground and the knees touching. Maybe one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart, or wherever they both feel great on your body to rest and receive, to surrender. And as you soak in your practice, imagining the full moon above you and a illuminating silver light shining down and soaking this light into every cell, every organ, every stream within you, every wave of breath flowing with this light.
And allowing this light to soothe and heal, to nourish with harmony. And perhaps you imagine again your tree under the full moon, and yourself with this tree and the full moon, the space of nature around you. Noticing the tree and the full moon with your own imagination, your own energy. Maybe the tree moves through the seasons. Maybe you move around the tree with the full moon. Maybe the moon moves through all of her phases. Circling into your center. As you lie for a few more moments, imagining the moon above shining through, shining into what you would like to be softer with, more empowered with in your life. Shining with any new perspective, ideas, ways of being or directions. And possibly you repeat these words to yourself as a releasing affirmation. I release and clear any pent-up energies in my body, heart and mind. As I release, I open a new door for infinite possibilities, opportunities, and energy. I embrace the truth and medicine that flows in my veins, courage, I follow the call of my heart. And perhaps you sound the mantra Om Chandraya Namaha a few times to yourself. As you start to gather all this in, seal this in with love and peace, sending this out to your family, your friends, through your home, to the area around you, and sending love and peace out to the whole world. With thanks and gratitude, let's start to wake and move our fingers, our thumbs and toes.
Having a stretch in any way that you like. And when you're ready, coming to seated, we can bring our hands to our heart in Lotus Padma Mudra. You're pressing the fingers together if that feels better. As you soften your shoulders with a long, tall spine, sitting for a few breaths once again, receiving and giving the full moons, illuminating, healing light. And as the full moon is a time of release and also a time of nourishment, a time of noticing what you need to make you whole. Perhaps you can just give yourself something like a treat, a pampering over the next few days, nights, like a moon bath, or honor the moon in a certain way. Maybe write down what you'd like to release on a piece of paper, and you can either burn this or bury this or have this in your journal. And perhaps you put water out for the full moon and drink it tomorrow for moon water, or your crystals to cleanse and recharge. Perhaps with this full moon, you can start to notice how the moon affects you, and if you either journal with the moon or notice the moon, or you're bringing that into your awareness, just being with your own self in fullness. As we bow to our hearts and bow to each other, Namaste.